Hello everyone, welcome to another video from Data Science Scratch. In this video, we will do some data processing and data analysis using the Excel. So this is a very big data set from a digital hydrological station. It's a real life data set which was collected in each 15 minutes for 4 years, I think. So it has around 1 million rows with five attributes or five columns. So we will start to load the data. We will know how to load the data, a big data which is basically stored as a text file. We will know how to load the data in Excel, then how to apply the filters, then how to get like the data set in a daily basis or monthly basis or even yearly basis. So let's start our today's project with importing the data into the Excel. So for that, we can go to the data section of our Excel file. Then from this panel, we can select from text or CSV. As you can see, here is our data set. It was recorded on 2020, 8 month 8 and day of 20. So let's import. Yeah, here is a imported sample of the data. It says like based on which delimiter you want the columns to be separated. So then in the text file, I have put the comma as the separator between the columns. So we will select the comma and data type detection based on how many rows you want the Excel to detect the data type. So 20 rows is okay because like all other rows are same. So everything is set up. You can see that this is the date, this is the time, this is the parameters, this is the readings, this is the units, and this is some abbreviation for the parameters. So now we will click the load and it will get loading to the Excel. As it is a very big data set, it will take some time to be loaded on our Excel file. Okay, so now our data is successfully loaded on our Excel. We can see that we have two header rows. We don't need this one, so we can just get rid of this by deleting it. Then we have the header row, and then we have the first column as date, then the time, then the parameters, the readings, then the units, and then some abbreviations for the parameters. So as you can see, like it shows from 1984, only one reading from 1984, and then it directly jumps to 2015. I think it is some mistake while setting that date and time for the station. So we can just simply click delete for these rows, and we can just start from 2015. It has started recording from the 10 and 45 o'clock in the morning, and then it gets reading in each 15 minutes. 10:45, then 11, then 11:15, 11:30, and then it will go like that. Okay, so the first reading was from 2015, December 29th of 2015. So the last days of the 2015, then it will go to 2016, 17 until 2020. We have the readings. Okay, so now just let's change the column names. First of all, let's just deactivate the filter. Name of the columns, station name, change to date. In the second column is time, sorry, time. Then the third column is parameters. Okay, then the fourth column is the readings or the measurements. Okay, reading. Then the fourth column is unit. Okay, then we have parameters. Okay, then the fourth column is the readings or the measurements. Okay, reading. Then the fourth column is unit. Okay, then we have the fifth column, which is some abbreviation, and we don't need this one. We can just simply delete this column. Okay, so now we have left with the four columns. Okay, we have the date, we have the time. The date basically shows which day, and the time means at which time of the day, and for which parameter, what was the reading, what was the measurement that the station did, and what is the unit of that measurement. So basically they measures the precipitation intensity with millimeter, and then it's centigrade and percentage and all those things. So let's get a quick review of the parameters. What are the different parameters in this session? First, we have precip int, which means the precipitation intensity. It basically means how much rainfall happened in the 15 minutes. Then precipitation accumulation, it is the accumulated form of the precipitation. The total precipitation happens during all this time. Then we have AT stands for atmospheric temperature. Then we have RH stands for relative humidity. Then the level, it basically is the level of the water in a stream flow or the river. Then BAT shows the battery of the station, which gives electricity to the digital station, the current, and the solar situation of the station. So basically this station is supplied by solar energy. Then after 15 minutes, then again it starts with the same parameters: precipitation intensity, precipitation accumulation, atmospheric temperature, arch, and level. Okay, so now we are all set with the parameters. We have understood the parameters and what are the units. For precipitation intensity, it measures with millimeter. For the precipitation accumulation, again millimeter. For atmospheric temperature, it is centigrade. And for relative humidity, it is percentage. And for level, it is meter. And for battery, it is volt and amperes and volt. Okay, so let's uh, do our first inquiry. Uh, so we want to see how much precipitation happened each day. Okay. So this is now the reading is for each 15 minutes. Now we want to get the accumulated or the total precipitation in each day. For that, if you see, like, we have different parameters. First of all, we have to select only one parameters. Then we can sum up the total value, the total reading of that parameters for that specific day. For getting only one parameter from this data, we can just go to the data, apply a filter, come to the parameters, okay, and select all this. Then select only the parameters you want, precipitation intensity, click OK. Now we have only precipitation intensity. So once we have only the precipitation intensity, then we can go to our next step of getting the total precipitation in one day. For that purpose, we can go to the outline, click, and then subtotal. As you can see, the subtotal is in gray color. For that, what we can do is we can just convert the data into the range. Right click on any cell of that data set, go to the table, click convert to range. It says like remove the query definition or the filters. It's okay. Now if you go to the outline, you can see that the subtotal is active. But first of all, we have to apply the filter again. Go back to the filter, okay, parameters, and select all the parameters. Then just select the precipitation intensity, click OK. Now we have the precipitation intensity. Now again go to outline, click on the subtotal. Basically subtotal does some kind of the function on the data, and it gives the any function you want for any change in your specific column. So first it asks you at each change in which column. If change happens in which column you want the subtotal to be applied for. We say like any change in the date, okay, then do the sum for the reading column. Okay, so any change which happens in the column of the date, it will give the subtotal at the end of that rows. Okay, click OK. Yes, so now I think the subtotal is done. As you scroll down, you can see that, yeah, the subtotal for 29th of December 2015, it is 0. Then if we scroll down, we can see that the values for each day, like there is no rainfall for the days, so we can just simply apply a filter and see the total rainfall in the day. So we cannot just simply apply filter again on the already available filter, so we can just select all, Control A, Control C, go to another sheet. You can just paste it as number, Yeah, it is already pasted, and then we can apply another filter on this filter. Just go to the date, and then you can just unselect all and then select manually from here, but it will take a lot of time, so we can just go to the text filter. From the text filters, it basically gives you a lot of functions and a lot of flexibility on how you want to do your filter. We want to say that uh, just filter the rows which ends with or which contains. These are both can do the same thing, but we can say that ends with if that specific cell is end with total, give us all those rows or values. Okay, now we can see that the total daily precipitation for each days. Like we can see that the 4th of January 2016 we have 3.59 millimeter of the rainfall. Then for the 7th of January 4.74, and it goes on like this. Then if you want to use this data set, you can just click all, select all, control A, control C, then go to another sheet, and then just paste it as a number. So basically here you have the daily data set, okay, for each day. Now we have done this for the daily. What if we want to get the monthly rainfall for each year or for each month, how much rainfall has happened in that particular station, how we can get that? Okay, so if you see these columns are basically empty, there is nothing in this column, so we can just delete these columns in the unit section also, and delete. Okay, so here there is a challenge. We cannot just treat this cell or this column as date, neither as a text, so we have to split the text and the date type of data, so we can apply our filter. For that there is another function here. If you go to the data, you can just click text to columns. So before doing that, we have to insert another uh, column just in the right side of the column where we want to split the text to column. Go to again, go back to the data, text to column. You can select the delimited next, and you can see that here it shows a sample that it has splitted the date and the text. You can click next, and you can just click finish. Okay, so now we have the date in one column and the text data in another column. So we, for now, we don't need this column, we can just delete. Now we have the day, the date, and the reading for that particular day. So for getting that monthly, we need only the month and the year. So for that purpose, we can just go to the numbering format, more number formats. You can select from the custom and then scroll down. There is a date format here, month, day, year. We can just delete the day and we want only month and the year. Okay, click OK. So now we have the month and the year. Okay, so this is the month one, month one, month one, month one, but the dates are different, but we don't have the date. So using this, we can now go to the data and then go to the outline, then click on subtotal. We now can say that at each change in the date, give us the sum for the reading. Okay, click OK. Now we have the monthly rainfall, okay, of the station for each year. Okay, this is for January 2016, how much rainfall happened, for the February 2016, for the March 2016, then April, May, and all those things. So if you want to use again this data, you can just go back and then select all, Control A, Control C, Again, create a new sheet, go back to home, paste as number, then again come back and apply a filter. Okay, data filter. Okay, now we have lots of numbers. You can go to the number filters. Equals to, no, not equals to, does not equal to, greater, no. There is no function that we can use from here, so we will go to the custom filter. From custom filter we will say that it not equals. If you scroll down, ends with, again the same function which we used earlier, type total and click OK. So now it has filtered. Okay, so we have the December 2015, January 2016, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December 2016. Then again, it starts with January of 2017, and we have the monthly data for each year. Again, if you want to use this data, you can just select all and then paste it in another sheet as a number format. Okay, so now we have the monthly rainfall for each year. Okay, for January 2016 it has rained around 30.47 millimeter. For the February it was lesser, it was 9.65. Actually we can plot this also. If you select all this, scroll down, we don't need grand total, you can just go to insert and you can just have a look to the trend how it changes. If you see for the 2000 it is 2015. For 2016 here it starts from 2016, it starts with 30 millimeter in the January, then it goes down the February and March, then again in April it rises, then again it comes down. Then in 2018 we have more rainfall than any other years. Then again for 2019 also we had less, and for 2020 also the trend is similar. Okay, so this was about the plot or the trend figure of the rainfall. So we can just delete this. Now we have done this for the monthly rainfall. So suppose we want to know the yearly data. So what we can do, we can just simply follow the previous steps. What was the steps? Split the date and the text, then change the date from month and year to only year, and then get the subtotal. So let's do that. Insert a column here. Okay, we have the column, then select this column, then go to the data, outline, subtotal. Okay, sorry, we don't need subtotal here. Text to columns, delimit it, next, next, finish. Okay, so now we have the month and the year, December 15, January 16, February 16. Okay, we don't need this column, we can just delete it, delete this column. And then we want to change the date format for this column. We can come to custom and then just type for y means year. Okay, now we have 2015, 2016, and it goes on like this. So we have only one reading for 2015. We can just delete this column and we can have the data for 2016 up to 2020. Now we can simply apply our subtotal function. Each change in a date gives us the sum function and the column reading. Now we can apply OK. In 2016 total was 156.8 millimeter raining. Now select all, again create another sheet, come home, paste as a number, apply a filter, apply a filter. OK. Now again number filters, custom filter, equals to, not equals to, ends with, total. Okay, now we have that. data for each year. Grand total. Okay, now if you want to use this data, select all, copy, with another sheet, go to home, paste, paste as number. Now we have the reading for each year. Okay, we don't need these two columns, these two rows, delete it. We have the total rainfall 2016, total rainfall of 2017, 2018, 2019, and 2020. We can just log into the trend of this data, insert, line plot, this. Okay, so now we have a clear picture of what happened in this 5 years. The rainfall was very low in 2016, then it increased in 2017, and it reached the maximum in 2018. Then again, it decreased in 2016, and then it keeps decreasing to 2020. I hope you have enjoyed this video and learned something new. Please let me know if you want to know more about the subtotal. I would try to upload another video or part two for exploring other functions from the subtotal. And in few days, I will try to do that section and also upload the video. Thank you so much. Don't forget to comment and subscribe to the channel.